There is one thing that Jerry and Joan may be quite sure of on the magic island of Euclidia. No matter what part of this artificial island in the South Pacific they visit, they're going to get action of some kind. When Captain Bradford was put to sleep by a ray gun in their prison cells, and Mrs. Gregory offered to remain with the captain until he recovered, it was decided that Jerry and Joan should go alone on a tour of as much of the island as they were allowed to reach. Their friend, the Euclidean girl submarine commander, has just left them in a tiny storage closet on the 9th level below the surface. And as there is no echo heard, Jerry and Joan feel safe in talking the situation over.
Oh, all right, then. All right. I'm right.
Very well, Jerry. You are correct.
I said that girl submarine commander was a friend of ours, didn't I?
You did?
And she just now helped us out a lot, didn't she?
How?
By telling us we had 3 days to plan what we were going to do about escaping from this place.
Her assistance would have been more valuable had she offered a plan of escape.
Oh, sure. And she could have been a real help if she'd dug up a magic carpet and had us all back in Hollywood in 10 minutes. Well, you ought to be blamed grateful for what she did tell us. Why, in 3 days we can do a whole lot. And we'd better start right now.
Do you have a plan?
Yeah. Keep moving. Standing still's no good.
Then let us go at once.
Have you got any idea what the directions are down here?
No, Jerry. Sections of the island may be revolved, and as you know, the entire island has been moved. It is quite impossible to determine any direction.
Okay, Joan. We'll just get out in the hall and start.
We may speak freely without fear of detection as long as our voices remain normal in tone.
But when they get that funny hollow sound, Euclideans are listening to us, huh?
That is right.
Then let's remember that, and when our voices start jumping back at us out of the walls, quit talking.
This is not the door through which we entered this room.
Huh? Not the same door?
No. We entered through that door.
Then where does... Hey, this room has a door on every wall.
There are many rooms with a door in each wall. We must use care in our choice of a corridor through which to continue our search.
Yeah, just a little harder than finding a camel in a needle. Every one of these blame halls look just alike, and you know it. They're all shining steel tunnels, so we haven't got any choice. But if you say this is a different door from the one we came in, then let's go this way.
We may as well. To retrace our former course would only take us back to the cells occupied by Mother and the captain.
Precisely.
Jerry Hall. You do not like that word. Why do you use it?
Well, just to get your goat.
How many times must I remind you that I have no goat?
Never mind, flying off the handle every time I open my mouth. Let's get busy.
I have no idea where this will lead us.
Well, just so we go someplace and learn something. There's so much I don't know about this island that it makes no difference where I start in learning. Hey, ouch!
Jerry, did you hurt yourself?
No, I didn't hurt myself, but this whatever it is here sure didn't do me any good.
I can see nothing there. It must be one of the invisible steel doors.
Invisible steel?
I should have expressed myself differently. The door is actually so perfectly transparent that it is impossible to detect its presence with the eye. Hence, it is called invisible.
You mean there's a steel door right here in front of me?
Feel it with your hand.
Well, golly whiskers. That stuff is clearer than glass. I can see the whole corridor through it, and it's still as strong as steel.
Euclidia is a place of wonders to those who are not accustomed to it.
You've been here 14 years, and you get plenty of surprises, I notice.
I was not attempting to appear superior, Jerry.
Okay, just so you don't. Remember what I told you. The higher they are, the harder they fall.
Who will fall from what?
Oh, skip it. And let's get around the other side of this invisible door and see what goes on there. Oh, all these blame hallways look just alike to me.
We do not know where we are going.
Nope, but we're on our way.
Why are you walking with your arm out before you?
Oh, so if I meet another of those funny steel doors, I'll bump my hand instead of my nose.
This is most unusual, Jerry.
Huh? What is?
That we should be allowed to walk around so freely in these lower corridors. Some of the most carefully guarded secrets on the island are contained in these lower levels.
Well, I sure haven't seen anything yet that I'd run home and tell about.
Perhaps we haven't tried the proper doors.
Well, we'll keep on trying them until somebody stops us. And here's where we try another one. Right now.
You are very careless in your method of striking these doors.
They won't bite, will they?
Some of them are electrified.
Hey, fine time to tell me that, after letting me open 2 of them with my bare hands. Well, what do you do with these things?
I would suggest that you press against the door with your shoe.
Yeah, maybe you're right.
It does not open.
I discovered that for myself.
This door you must pull toward yourself. The small opening near the bottom will suffice. Use the toe of your shoe.
You do see things at that, don't you?
On Euclidia, our powers of
I
observation...
know. But let's go on hunting places to learn things. Hey, Joan, did you notice that?
While the door was open, the communication channels were active.
Yeah, and somebody heard what we said.
But we said nothing while the door was open.
Then somebody heard nothing, which is swell. But how about that echoing noise? Doesn't that mean the opening of that door was registered on some of their instruments?
Presumably. But it may be some time before the graphs are calibrated and readings noted. The scientists are occupied otherwise. I think our progress is not being followed.
Well, let's go some more then, and I hope you're right.
We should now be nearing the center of the island.
Center? It can't be. This thing is 1,000 feet across, isn't it?
The main portion is 600, roughly. Actually, the diameter of the central section is exactly 1/10 of a nautical mile, or 608 feet.
Well, I know we haven't walked any 300 feet since we left the confinement cells.
Agreed. However, I think the cells are not on the extreme outer ring of the island. Furthermore, the narrowing curvature of these walls would indicate our progress toward the center.
Looks like you're right. But what do we find when we hit the center?
The central control elevator is the axis of Euclidia.
Well, then maybe we can get up in that elevator shaft and see what's going on in some of the other levels.
It will not be so simple, I think. While I am not familiar with this level, it is only logical to suppose that we will find various chambers arranged around the elevator shaft.
And maybe somebody in those chambers won't like the idea of our touring around.
Precisely. Oh, undoubtedly.
Well, if we're near the center, we'll soon find out, because here comes another door.
Jerry, the door is not coming.
Well, we're coming to the door. What's the difference?
A great deal. If the door were moving toward us...
All right. I'm sorry I started it, but here is the door.
We should proceed with more than usual care now.
I know it. But how am I going to do anything about it?
The door and walls will be soundproofed. It would do no good to listen at the door.
Well, that's what I was afraid of.
Yet I fear that something we will regret will follow the opening of that door.
What, for instance?
I do not know.
Sure, you're a help.
If you were clever enough to ridicule me, you would not need my help.
Well, you win. Let's go on in.
But we may be in danger.
We are in that anyhow. And we've got to do everything we can to get your mother and Tex and ourselves out of this. Now, you stand over to one side, and if any ray guns or tricks are waiting to jump out at us, it won't hit both of us, and you can run back to the others.
I would not run away and leave you, Jerry.
You'd better, but maybe nothing will happen. Here I go. Hey, Joan, look at that.
I have not seen him for years. I had forgotten he existed. I think we may safely stand and watch him for a moment.
Well, keep your voice down. The old guy will hear you.
But he is quite deaf.
Deaf?
Yes, deaf.
You don't mean deaf, do you?
I said deaf, and I mean deaf. Totally lacking in the sense of hearing.
Oh, I know what deaf means, all right, but I don't see how he could be deaf.
You do not know that man, do you, Jerry?
Never saw the funny old guy before.
Then you are in no position to judge as to whether or not he is deaf.
Look, Joan, that old guy is tapping on glasses of water with that little steel rod, isn't he?
He is?
Well, I've seen him do things like that on the stage, and they were always making noises or playing tunes with those glasses.
This old man is doing much the same thing. He is making musical notes.
Just what I thought. And he acts like he was pretty busy at it, too. Now watch when he hits that glass and then listens till the last little note of sound is gone.
If you can see and understand what he is doing, why must you question his ability to do it?
Because if he's deaf, he can't hear what he's doing. And no matter what note he hits or what noises he makes, he wouldn't know anything about it.
He is listening to the vibrations.
Vibrations?
Yes. He has trained his sense of touch to such perfection that he will instantly recognize several thousands of notes of the audible scale.
Thousands of notes? What are you talking about? Well, there aren't even hundreds of notes, let alone thousands.
On Euclidia, we have developed our sense of hearing far beyond your worldly knowledge, and we easily hear sounds entirely beyond the range of your ears. Sounds to which even your most delicate detection and recording apparatus will not respond.
Golly whiskers. You mean we can only hear half of what's going on around us?
You do not hear 1/100th of the sound waves beating at your ears.
Well, maybe not, but I know that I hear plenty. Hey, Joan, that note he just struck. I can't stop hearing it.
Jerry, are you hearing a musical note?
Why, sure I am. It sounds funny. No, it's not funny. It hurts. It hurts my ear, makes my head ache.
Step back and close the door at once. Hurry, Jerry.
What for?
Do as I tell you at once. Now, do you hear that note?
Well, no. Well, I guess I don't. But my head sure feels funny.
That was your Keystone Note.
My what?
Your Keystone Note. That note, steadily played or beaten within your hearing, would soon make you deaf or worse.
Make me deaf? What about you?
I did not hear it.
You didn't hear the sound when he hit that glass?
I heard the common vibrant note of the accepted musical scale, but the sustained note, the constant sound which continued to beat against your inner ear, that was not keyed to my hearing, hence it did not bother me.
You mean that old guy's experimenting with those notes to find out which one bothers people and which ones they'd keep on hearing until it would drive them crazy?
Exactly. Even in your poor scientific world, you have heard of a musical note shattering a glass or even shaking a small building, have you not?
Well, sure.
When that man's experiments are completed, he will be able to sound a note which will destroy a large building, a bridge or a tunnel. One note, and a battleship will crumple as easily as a piece of paper. Another note, and an aeroplane high in the air will disintegrate. The note will strike the keynote of the motor. The synchronization will be destroyed, and the machine will shake itself to pieces in a matter of seconds.
Golly whiskers. Why, if they could really do that, these crazy scientists could capture the whole world without hurting anyone. And they wouldn't need one single gun or a weapon of any kind.
Precisely, Jerry. You have seen only one of the many devices being made ready for G-47's conquest of the world. Yet that one alone should convince you of the futility of ever escaping from this island and coming back to take it over.
Well, it don't look so good. I'll say that.
What would you do if you heard one single musical note that would destroy the largest building in the world? There wouldn't be much you could do against such a threat as that. And that's the strange Euclidean power which Jerry and Joan have just seen and heard. Down on the 9th level below the surface of the island, Jerry and Joan have been scouting around trying to find a possible avenue of escape, while Joan's mother has been taking care of the unconscious Captain Bradford. The young couple are just outside the door of a small laboratory where they have seen the actual experiments with the musical notes which are to control the world if the Euclidean plan works out. Jerry and Joan don't seem any too happy about it.
Why, golly whiskers, Joan. That's the weirdest thing I ever heard of.
It is not entirely pleasant, is it, Jerry?
Pleasant? It's got my goat.
But, Jerry, you...
And don't tell me I haven't got a goat. I have, and it's been got.
Though you need a lesson in English, I think we will not take time for it now.
I know we won't. Let's get on back to Tex and your mother and tell them what we found. You know, if G-47 and the rest of these scientists can chase us around with a noise that is going to make battleships fall to pieces, Tex ought to know it right away.
What will Captain Bradford be able to do?
Well, I don't know, but we can't ask him here. Come on.
But we came that way, Jerry.
No, we didn't. This is the way we came.
I am sure you are wrong, Jerry.
How are you so sure?
Do you not remember that I called your attention to the angle of the corridor narrowing as we approached this end?
Yeah, I remember that all right. But it gets narrower down this way, too.
Oh, yes, so it does.
Then you don't know which way we're going.
I must admit that I do not.
Oh, neither do I. But I've got a hunch it's down this way.
We may as well go this way as any other.
Now, what do we do?
Doors. Doors all around us.
I know we never passed that many doors all in one bunch.
Remember that sections of this island may be rotated. If the corridor we traversed before was north and south, it is quite possibly running east and west now.
That's why this blame island makes me tired. Nothing stands still long enough for you to figure it out. Who ever heard of a tunnel running all over the place? Fine thing, that is. Wouldn't some of our railroad engineers back home get a surprise to find their tunnels turned around? Boy, that would be something, wouldn't it? Imagine starting through a tunnel in Canada, Rocky Mountains, and coming out in Mexico.
That is ridiculous, beside the problem, none of our concern, and impossible.
Oh, you don't like it much?
I do not.
Then I'll put the tunnel back where it belongs and we'll walk some more.
We will soon have to make a choice of doors, Jerry.
Well, I like that one over there. It's already open.
It was not open a moment ago.
Well, it is now.
Then someone must be in there.
Yeah, maybe you're right. Let's use one we have to open ourselves. It won't seem quite so much like a trap.
That looks similar to the door we came through.
Okay, if you say so. Let's go.
Jerry, do not move. That door is opening also.
Yeah, I see it is. This thing is beginning to get spooky.
I think we may safely use any of these doors.
But even if they keep opening up like this?
Yes. I have seen doors like these open on the other levels. They are operated by the sound of our voices directed toward them. I am sure we will find every opening in this chamber guarded by a voice-controlled door.
Well, how about telling one of them to go shut again? Gee whiz.
Jerry, the door closed when you looked at it and used the word shut.
Well, I thought that, too. But that doesn't make sense. How could a door close on a certain word?
This is the level on which all sound control devices are put into actual use.
I thought that was on the 5th level, near the chemical laboratory. Don't you remember that we found all that soundproof paint up there? Before we escaped from the island before?
Yes, Jerry. That is where the chemicals for sound control are compounded. Paints, oils, gases, and solutions. But on this level, mechanical sounds are developed, such as the musical notes we saw the old man making with the glasses containing water.
Okay, if you say so. Let's work it again. Now, I'll look right straight at that door over there.
That is the one you tried accidentally before. I would suggest you choose another for this experiment.
Well, you know these self-starting doors better than I do. I'll take that one over there. Look right straight at it and tell it to open.
Jerry, it is opening.
Then you're all wrong. I hadn't told it to.
Do not lose your head, Jerry. Remember what G47 told you. There is no magic here. Euclidia is a land of fact. You used the word open when you spoke.
Golly. Hey, maybe you're right. Well, I'll try the same door on the word shut.
You see?
Yeah, I see. It's about all I can stand.
Which door do you think we should go through?
Oh, that one that stays shut over there. Let's see if we can open it by talking. Hey, there it goes.
You used the word open.
Well, let's get through it before it changes its mind.
We are entering another chamber such as that
We
one.
might as well be on a merry-go-round.
What is a merry-go-round?
Oh, I'm too busy to tell you now, but it goes around and around and you don't get any place. Now, let's see if we have to turn around and talk straight at that door or if it can keep our backs to it.
I think the voice must be directed.
Well, we'll see. Shut. Go on. Shut. No good.
I will try looking directly at the door. Shut.
Joan, if we ever get off this island, I'm going to write a book about it.
I will help you.
Yeah, but first, how about a little help finding those jail cells we were in?
I am anxious to see Mother and the captain.
Yeah, me too. I'd rather be locked up with them than running around here loose by ourselves.
Are you afraid, Jerry?
No, but I could be mighty easy. Hey, where did that come from?
Another door closed.
Well, let's open one. Open. Open. Open.
You must direct your voice at the door.
I did. Well, I'll try another one. This one right here. Open. Open. Hey, open.
That is most unusual.
Yeah, it's also not so good. Maybe I can open one by hand.
Oh, Jerry, I do not like this.
Oh, steady, Joan. It may be all right. I'll try another one.
Oh, Jerry, we are prisoners in this room. All the doors are closed against us.
No, it looks that way, Joan. But we'll have to keep trying.
Where they were, I would still feel that they'd been gone far too long. After all, they're only youngsters, Tex, and we're responsible for them.
I know that, Pat, and I can understand how you feel, but the question is, would we be helping them by starting out to look for them?
How could we be doing anything else?
We haven't the least idea where they are, or where we are. And if we go out looking for them and miss them, what are they going to think when we aren't here when they get back?
Yes, I suppose you're right, Tex. But you're not able to start out walking just after recovering from that sleep-producing ray? But I can't sit here much longer.
Well, I suppose we'll help them just as much by moving as by sitting still. They're no more afraid of this place than we are. Let's go, Pat.
Oh, are you sure you're equal to it, dear?
I'm equal to anything when you're concerned, Pat.
You always have been. And I haven't been very appreciative lately. But one of these days, when this is all over...
I know, Pat, and don't worry about that now. The most important thing is to find those kids and get ourselves organized around here.
You're quite sure it won't be too much for you?
Oh, I'm all right. That ray gun didn't do anything but put me to sleep. Maybe a little dopey for a while, but if you do the thinking, I can at least tag along behind you.
Have you any idea where we are?
Not the slightest. Joan said she thought we were on the 9th level. But as to what side of the island or where we go from here, I can't even make a good guess.
Well, at least we know we can find the elevator if we return the same way we were brought in here.
Yeah, if we can remember how we came. Now, if we can open this door without getting put to sleep again.
Jerry and Joan went out without trouble. Joan's theory was that the ray gun had been set to fire only one shot when the door was opened, predicated on the belief that one shot would discourage any further attempts to leave.
Well, let's hope she was right. How about that water?
Well, the corridor was dry when they left.
Okay, then here goes. Well, nothing happens. Here we go.
It isn't going to be very easy to find our way. These walls and doors look exactly alike in every direction.
Yes, and they're all made of that transparent steel, with us on the wrong side of them to see anything.
And most likely every move we make is being watched and every word overheard.
I don't think so. Joan said she was sure G-47 and all his men were busy trying to figure out how to move this island without disturbing the surface of the water so much.
And I suppose her judgment is better than ours where this mad place is concerned.
Yeah, it should be. Well, now where do we go?
Probably doesn't make much difference. I imagine we'll have to continue looking everywhere until we find them.
Well, this door looks as good as any other.
Well, shouldn't you listen before you open it?
Wouldn't do any good. They're soundproof.
No matter where we are on this island, the story is always the same. No chance to protect ourselves. Just stumble along blindly, trusting to luck.
Seems to be about all we can do, all right. We might as well get at it.
Now we are in a quandary.
We sure are. A six-sided room with 6 doors leading out of it. Well, we can't say we didn't have any choice here.
Let's just take the first one and see what happens.
Whatever you say, Pat. No good. That one won't open.
Then there must be something in there we're not supposed to see.
And we won't see it. Well, I'll try the next one.
It looks as if we've located a series of rooms which must contain something very valuable.
They sure keep it a secret, whatever it is. Well, now let's see. We came in that door. We've tried these 2. That leaves 3 over there. Suppose you take one of them, Pat. That'll save time.
All right. I can't move this one, sir.
Same trouble over here. Well, that leaves only 1.
Oh, I wonder if we should try this last door.
Why not?
Oh, I'm beginning to feel terribly nervous, Tex. We've been left alone so long that it just doesn't seem reasonable. After all, we are prisoners here, and G-47 must know we'll be making every effort to escape.
Yes, he's also got a pretty good idea that we're not going to get very far with our efforts. Might as well get it over with, Pat. We're prisoners, as you say. We wouldn't be in any worse fix if we had company, even the company of our captors. Here goes.
Well, we'll just have to go out the way we came, and we've only wasted our time in this room.
Right, let's get out of here.
Tex, we're locked in here.
No, we're not. These doors all look alike. Must have been another one we used. Yeah, this will be the one. I remember now. We went all the way around the room. That's funny. I know it was one of these 2 doors.
Well, it wasn't this one.
Now, don't get excited, Pat. We'll find the right door in just a minute.
Oh, I'm not so sure, Tex. We've tried them all. We're locked in, Tex, and we can't